Am I the a-hole for not giving frequent updates to a friend's husband when he refused to come to the hospital? Original post. Hey, one of my coworkers/friends came to me at work and said she had bad chest pain, that she needed to go to urgent care. I told her I would cover her shift. We both got off in an hour anyways. When I got off, I noticed my friend sitting on the sidewalk crying in pain. She said the pain was much worse. She said her husband didn't come, so I took her to the hospital myself. When we got there, I sent a text to her husband telling him what hospital we were at. His reply was, "Cool, updates me in 20 minutes." Long story short, her gallbladder ruptured and she needed immediate surgery. I called her husband, and he said, "I don't like the smell at the hospital. It makes me sick. Just notify me every 30 minutes on how she's doing." I told him no, that it was serious and he needed to calm down. He didn't reply. My friend got out of surgery. The doctor said she has a bad infection and she will need to stay at the hospital a couple of days. I ended up calling my friend's mom. Her mom immediately asked where her husband was. I told her what he said. Later, I started getting mean messages from him, that he was really mad I didn't give him updates like he asked. My friend's mom showed up and let me know she was texting and asking my friend's husband for updates. He still doesn't know my friend's mom is with her now. I am starting to feel like I am the a-hole for not telling him that I called my friend's mom, or giving him the updates like he asked for. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Not the a-hole. You did a nice thing to support your friend. You did not, however, sign up to be her husband's secretary. He can either get to the hospital like a decent spouse would, or he can sit at home in the dark and hope his wife isn't mad. He's not a decent spouse at all. Opie's friend is better off in the hands of her mom. Hopefully, Mom and Opie will also support friend as she sorts through her thoughts on the waste of space bloke she married and dumps us behind. Opie's not a a-hole. Opie did the very best thing for her friend. I'm really curious what updates the husband is giving his mother-in-law, given that he doesn't even know what's going on. Opie, you're not an a-hole at all. Your friend's husband, on the other hand... My husband hates hospitals. Hates. But when I got bitten by a cat and was in for nearly a week, he was there before and after work every day. That's what you do when you love someone. Put your discomfort aside for that person when they really need you. Not the a-hole. The audacity of the husband astounds me. I don't like the smell of hospitals. Who the heck does? Your friend needs to re-examine her marriage because this a-hat obviously cares more about his discomfort than her health. I agree. She deserves someone who will be by her side. I can't even imagine a situation where my spouse gets sick and ends up in the hospital and I'm not there. I would literally not be able to function until I heard directly from the doctor's mouth that they will be okay. It was super scary. The doctor said normally when they remove a gallbladder, it's an outpatient procedure. Since it ruptured and she has a bad infection, it's really serious. That's why I called her mom. I'm okay being there for her, but making serious medical decisions? It should be her family, not me. I doubt the hospital would let you make any decisions since you're not family. Another big reason why that guy's an a-hole. The doctors may need to make some quick decisions, and if you hadn't gotten her mom there, they'd have to delay till they could talk to somebody. Not the a-hole. What a poor excuse for a husband that man is. I hope this is the wake-up call that she needs to leave him. At first, when I found her, I thought maybe he was stuck in traffic or couldn't leave work. Now I'm wondering if he just didn't want to drive her? Now for the update. My friend is doing better today, and she has decided to separate from her husband. When I went to visit, I got the whole story. When my friend's sister and brother-in-law went to my friend's apartment, they found her husband there playing video games when he was supposed to be at work. Red flag. After my friend called her husband and pressed him, he told her he quit his job and didn't want her to find out. That his job was too stressful and he didn't want to work anymore. He lost his health insurance once he quit. Thankfully, we have health insurance through our company, so my friend is covered. My friend said this was the final straw. She said he does nothing to help their family. They have a 2-year-old daughter he dropped off to the babysitter early this morning, even though he was home. Grown-up daughter. Mommy, why did you and Daddy divorce all those years ago? Mommy. Well, he left me crying on the side of the road with a ruptured gallbladder. And you with a babysitter while he stayed home and played video games after he secretly quit his job. I would like to add, now sweetheart, this is why we don't marry a slug. But odds are he was a horrible dad before divorce. He's probably gonna be a crappy dad post-divorce. The kid won't have to ask her mother why, when she can see with her own eyes what a deadbeat her dad is. No questions needed when the truth is quite evident. Thanks so much for the update. I'm glad she seems to have a good support system, and really glad she's getting out now while the situation is egregious. Otherwise, waiting out those malingering unemployed men can sap the energy and spirits of anyone living with them. Jesus, I was feeling pretty horrible about being single earlier. I feel better now. Glad your friend is doing better and dumping this loser. I'm happy to help. Now for the last story. Update. Am I the a-hole for not attending my friend's wedding on the day of my family's death anniversary? Original post. 7 years ago, I, 35 female, lost my husband, daughter, and mother to a car accident. They were hit by a drunk driver that drove through a red light and killed all of them on impact. Their deaths greatly affected me, and if it weren't for my friends and years of therapy, I would be in a much lower place. I am very thankful for their support and have been able to process my grief properly. 2 years ago, I took a job offer that provided me more benefits than my current one and moved far away from city to another. I travel back to occasionally meet up with friends, and of course to visit my family's graves on their death anniversary. It is a 7-hour car drive or around an hour by plane. Due to COVID, last year I drove to avoid contact with people and stayed at my old house. This year I plan to do the same thing, but ran into an issue with my friend having her wedding in my old city. A friend, Amy, 33 female, announced she was engaged last year to her boyfriend of 3 months. A friend group and I were quite shocked, as we never even met him nor did we know she was dating anyone, as we usually tell each other. But nonetheless, we congratulated her, and were happy for her. They were supposed to have their wedding last year but couldn't due to COVID and postponed it to this year. We are not in US, by the way, and COVID cases are now less than 10 here in my country. We are allowed gatherings of less than 15 people, and that is what Amy decided to do for her wedding. About a week ago, Amy called me privately to tell me her plans for the wedding. She told me that she's having it on the same day of my family's death anniversary and would like me to not visit their graves and just attend the wedding instead. I was quite shocked that the wedding was planned that specific day and questioned as to why she picked that day. Amy told me she just liked the number 8 and told me that I can't just gatekeep a certain day. Then I asked her why can't I go visit my family's grave, and she told me that she doesn't want my sadness and grief to take the attention at her wedding. I was incredibly stunned at what she said. I know I am quite emotional, but I know how to compose and behave myself at certain events. Here's where I think I am the a-hole. I told Amy that unfortunately I will not miss out on visiting my family's graves. I tried to ask for a compromise and told her that if my emotions were that much of a problem, I'll attend their graves after the wedding was over. But she said she wants my support for the entire day and dedicated towards her, but she'll think about my offer. It's been a week and I have not heard from her. I feel like I should just go to the wedding to keep the peace as I owe it to her, especially after all the support and love she gave me after my family's death. But it still doesn't feel right to just attend the wedding and forget about my family. Would I be an a-hole if I told her I won't be attending the wedding at all if she hasn't reached a decision? Now for the top comments before reading the update. Not the a-hole. I am so sorry for your loss. But I have a question. Why is Amy allowed to gatekeep that day for her own, but not you? After all, her wedding anniversary will be on that date from now on. Will she try to force you to forget about your loss every year? I think it's really insensitive and selfish of her. And trying to control your emotions in addition to your actions. She doesn't only want you at her wedding. She wants to control what you do with the time you're not at her wedding. As if that would stop you from being sad. This, Amy gets zero say in what you do with your day. Go to your family's graves and do your usual ritual. Then go to the wedding. If she asks, tell her what you do when not at her wedding is none of her business. In fact, text her that right now and withdraw your compromise. You don't need to compromise with her for Pete's sake. First off, my heart goes out to you. I can't imagine what it's been like to go through what you've been through. As to the question, she told me that she's having it on the same day of your family's death anniversary and would like me to not visit their graves and just attend the wedding instead. And that's the point at which I knew she was the a-hole. Had she unknowingly picked the same day, invited you, and only found out too late, that might have gotten close to no a-holes here. But deliberately picking the day she knows you grieve on? No, that's not the action of a friend. You aren't gatekeeping that day. She and others can do what they like. You're simply saying that you are not available that day. Not the a-hole. You weren't even close to one, and Amy's just about a double one. Not just for planning her event on that day when she knew its significance, but for pushing you too. She is available that day. She can go to the grave and the wedding, but the bride thinks that's unacceptable. That is wrong, not the a-hole. Exactly. That makes Opie not the a-hole, and her so-called friend a huge one. Seriously, who the heck thinks they have a right to tell any adult what they can and can't do when it comes to grief, or even life in general? Especially in regards to Opie saying she would just visit her family's graves and then attend a wedding, and a friend being, oh, that's okay. You can't do that. I'm making this date all about me now, so let's focus on that now. Not the a-hole. This woman is not your friend. At all. In your shoes, I would probably go off along the lines of, your wedding will never, ever, ever compete with honoring my dead family. You know, the spouse and daughter and mother I lost? On the same day? I'm so sorry. Seriously, don't ever speak to her again. Now for the update. Hello Reddit. I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone who replied. I was not expecting my post to get this level of attention. I've read all of your comments and thank you once again. I am in tears and became an emotional mess after reading your thoughtful responses. Thank you for the love and support. I have always felt some sort of emotional burden to my friends, so thank you for your encouraging messages and telling me to keep my head up high. Even though we are all strangers on the internet, it sort of felt like I had gained a new family. My heart goes out to the people who have messaged me privately of their experiences with losing their loved ones to drunk driving as well. Please know I have felt your pain. You are not alone in this, and I wish you all the love in this world. Now for the update. I did what some of you suggested and called my other friends to let them know what Amy had asked of me. They were quite livid and angry for me, as they had no idea what Amy was planning for the wedding. We arranged a Zoom call with her the next day to discuss why she being so insensitive to me. Well, the call was quite the battle. It started off calm, then Amy just blew up. You guys were right when you said that Amy was jealous of the attention that I had received during the time of my family's death anniversary. Her wedding was a way to shift the attention towards her. She tried to explain to us that by having the wedding on that day, it will turn a negative situation into a positive one. When she realized she wasn't convincing enough, it felt as though a mask had fallen from her face, and she started yelling and insulting me. She said that she is tired of having to play the supportive friend role and that it's been 7 years. I should just get over it by now, or go join my family in the ground. My friends lost it and called her every name in the book. I am honestly just shocked and disappointed at a person who used to be my friend. It breaks my heart knowing I lost another person in my life, but I guess you guys are right in the sense that she never really was a friend. I now look back at our friendship and realized it was often one-sided on my part. I wish it didn't take me so long to realize it. No one in our friend group of 6 people are going to her wedding now. We have decided to go no contact with Amy and block her on all social media. My friends have offered to go visit my family's graves together with me. I accepted, and we are now planning to also make a scrapbook with my family's pictures. For once, I'm actually looking forward to this day, and will start to plan more eventful activities like this. Thank you once again to everyone for helping me through this. And please remember, do not drink and drive. I am begging you. Please don't. Please drink responsibly and drive safely, everyone. Edit, I was once again not expecting this amount of attention. I am in literal tears. Thank you everyone for your kind words and sympathy. I appreciate your love and support. I don't think I deserve the awards you all have given me. Thank you, kind strangers. Some are asking about Amy's fiancé and his thoughts. We haven't heard anything as we still haven't even met him. We tried several times to meet him last year, but something always came up. I guess we'll never know his true feelings. Imagine being jealous of the attention one gets for losing their entire family. My gosh. The sheer lack of sympathy and empathy in every way possible is astounding. It's been 7 years. I should just get over it or go join my family in the ground. If she was my friend, she'd be counting her blessings it was a video chat, because that would be enough for me to entirely lose it. Jealous of the support you got after everything you lost? Jesus Christ. Good riddance to bad rubbish there. Sorry that you had to go through this. To find how bad she was though. I am quite shocked about the whole situation. That event in itself is so traumatizing. And Opie seemed to have made a great recovery, with that ritual of visiting them regularly. And now her friend who intends to get hitched to a guy whom she knows 3 months? Jolly for them. But to tell Opie to not go to the grave so she can hoard her happiness for the entire day. What kind of person says something like that? God, horror. Also, people can say what they want to say about love at first sight, but a 3-month wedding smells like a shotgun wedding, baby on the way, or insanity. That's just a divorce waiting to happen. And anyway, not worth disrespecting Opie's ritual. She said you should join your family in the ground? Wow, screw her. I audibly gasped when I read that part. She's a sick person. I'm so happy Opie has actual, supportive friends. We have read way too many stories where friends would say to just keep the peace, even in such ugly situations as this. And it's sadly so refreshing to read about actual good friends.